man, they renovated it a few years ago. It was good anyway, and now it looks fantastic. And it's great to be here at UNF as we first trip over here. We've been to JU a few times. We hadn't gotten to UNF, but we're here tonight. They play Bellarmine tonight. They have a women's game at 5 o'clock, the men's game after that. And we love watching the Ospreys play, and they'll be shooting some threes tonight. That's my prediction. You know prediction? I'm a prediction guy. They'll be jacking up some threes tonight. Carlyon, that's my prediction.
Yeah, well, it's a good one. They lead the country in 3 points made per game. We see some of these great banners that they've hung here at UNF, and they hang them when they lead the nation in 3-point shooting, and they may be adding to that this year because they got a big lead. I mean, they're at like 12.9. I think the next second-place team's around like 12.3. So that's obviously a considerable amount when you're this far into the season. So I would think you could expect to see 15 or more threes tonight against a Bellarmine team that, is really struggling. One of the worst teams in Division I basketball right now.
It's weird how that happened, by the way, with Bellarmine, because not that long ago they were the best team in the league.
Portal, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know. Again, they're the other team in Louisville, so people don't follow them closely. But it's just odd that it happened that quickly, that it changed that quickly. From Bellarmine went from one of the better teams in the league 2 years ago, I think it was.
Their coach is in his 20th year at the school.
So maybe
it's not like they have a new staff or anything.
Maybe the portal hit them hard. So we will talk.
Yeah.
Matthew Driscoll joins us in just a few moments. He always kind of kicks off the show while we get here. And I will tell you again, I said it the other day. I've been saying it really kind of all week. If the shooting display I saw by UNF against JU the other night is one of the most unreal three-point shooting displays I've ever seen. And that comes from a team that set the ultimate bar on three-point shooting. They were at 1 point 11 of 16 in the first half from the arc against a good defensive team. Add all that up. A good defensive team on the road, and you're 11 of 16 from behind the arc. That's pretty amazing. And I'm telling you, UNF, well, you just said it, the record, the numbers show it, they're the best in the country. UNF is the best I've ever seen at knowing the three-point, taking the open three. Obviously making it, but they know how to take it. They know when it's there. They are looking for it. And as they bounce back now after a little bit of a slow start in the conference, they've been very good. So we'll certainly talk about that a lot. Matthew Driscoll joins us coming up in just a bit, so it'll be good to have Matthew on the show. He comes up in about 4:15, 4:20. Nick Morrow joins us. He is the athletic director here at UNF. He'll be here at 5 o'clock or so, we hope, to talk about all things UNF. So we love coming out to the to our two campuses, man. We tell you all the time how much we enjoy that. So we are thrilled to be here at the UNF Arena. Again, the women's game starts at 5 o'clock. The men's game more like 8 o'clock. But a lot of basketball here at the arena coming up tonight. The news of the day, everybody else has talked about the news to us, or certainly not news to us, but the first time we'll go on the air. Grant Udinski, the new offensive coordinator with the Jaguars. I got a lot of thoughts about that, but let me get yours.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is just from what I've read, the Star Tribune did an outstanding feature on Udinski during the season, and I would recommend you going if you're a Jaguars fan. I'd recommend going to read it. It's free. They don't have it behind a paywall or anything. You can just Google his name, and it's like the first thing that pops up.
And the Star Tribune, for people that don't know, that's the daily newspaper in Minneapolis. Yeah,
correct.
That's
so
the downtown newspaper.
And so it's it really talks about the dues he's paid and how valuable he became in very short amount of time to an outstanding franchise in the Minnesota Vikings that surprised us all by winning 14 games this year with Sam Darnold. And, again, to hear Kevin O'Connell talk about Grant Udinski in the story, it certainly has to fire you up. Now, we know it's Liam Cohen's offense, and Liam Cohen will be calling the plays, but he needs help, I mean, like anything else. And so, this obviously Liam Cohen's made a few hires since, but Udinski late last night, a couple more behind that in terms of passing game coordinators and specialists and things like that. So the quarterback offensive brain trust is really starting to form. And it, like we talked about, I mean, they've stuck to the script. It's incredibly inexperienced. I mean, Grant is not even 30 yet. He's 29. So obviously not a lot of experience in the league, but you hope that the innovation and the creativity, carries the day. And so, we'll see. But it's good to see Liam Cohen getting his staff in place. Still not 100% done yet, but certainly made a lot of progress in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, a number of coaches, not just the coordinator. Let me say this. It's now clear where Liam's head is, and that is go get stars in the making. And that's where his head is. That's very clear now that Grant Udinski, he's a really interesting story. You know what he played in college?
He was like a tight end and then flipped to defensive end?
He was a defensive end. He started out as an offensive player, but he finished his career at Towson as a very good pass rusher. I don't know that I've ever seen, maybe not ever, but you rarely see a guy who played on the defensive side of the ball as a collegian who's going to make his name as a pro coach on the offensive side of the ball. It's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's a good point. Yeah. He started as a tight end at Davidson and then transferred to Towson and became a defensive end
and
there.
And a good one.
What's wild about it, his last year of college football as a player was 2018.
I know it.
And now he's the offensive coordinator.
That was 1 year after Miles Jack wasn't
right.
down. Right.
It's incredible. But, look, if he's got, got the right ideas and brings, a lot of deception to the table and is able to – what I thought was interesting in the feature is what a great job he was able to do identifying tells.
Right.
And so, again, that's something that I don't know that the Jaguars have done a great job with really for about the last 10 years on offense in terms of really fooling people. It's happened here and there. We remember the ETN reverse and the playoff win over the Chargers, but, it doesn't happen often here. And really, when you watch, again, the offenses around the league, you do see it, frequently. So hopefully the Jaguars will now go to the forefront of the league and being able to anticipate what the defense is doing, execute it, and really, hit some explosive, touchdown kind of plays.
Yeah, but it was very clear that Liam Cohen is building a staff of what he is, a rising star in the league. People think Grant Udinski is very good at 29 years old, really highly thought of in Minneapolis. It looked like it was down to he and Nate Shieldhouse. Now, what I don't know, and we won't know unless they tell us, is were they going to hire Nate? And he said no, because we saw reports he was staying in L.A., or did he get word they were hiring Udinski, and he said no before they could announce they were hiring Udinski? We'll never know that, and we don't need to know it. But I just think those were the two names you heard the most. There were other names, but those. You got the impression it was going to be one of those two guys, and I assume that is correct. But Grant Udinski, the offensive coordinator now for the Jaguars. Young rising stars. Anthony Campanile, a rising star. A little bit older, but a rising star in the industry.
Yeah, he's the elder at 42.
Right. But there's a lot of young coaches. It's a young head coach. There's not a general manager yet. It's hard not to think it might not be a young general manager, and I got no idea, but it makes you wonder, right, with all the youthfulness. So, hey, move forward with what you believe in. I do like this. I've heard Tony Baselli say it on the air. I've heard others talk about it, and I like where they're going with this. This is Liam's show, and that's how it ought to be. There should the best way to assure alignment is make sure the guy that's the most important guy, and that's always the coach, has his say and can at least provide direction. Liam strikes me as a guy that isn't afraid to ask for direction. He isn't afraid to ask or for advice, which I like. But as they move forward here, Grant Udinski on the offense, Anthony Campanile on the defense. One major difference. I think Anthony Campanile is the head coach of the defense.
Absolutely.
I think that's his team.
Yes.
Grant Udinski, don't kid yourself. Just because the head coach calls the plays doesn't mean the offensive coordinator isn't a coordinator. He will be, I would imagine, primarily charged with building the game plan after conversations with Liam, with Trevor, with quarterback coaches, with other parts of the staff. Obviously, Spencer Whipple will be involved in that. Others will be involved. But I would imagine he will put the offensive coordinator usually puts the plays on the books. Even on teams where the head coach calls the plays, the book is written. The book is generally written by the coordinator, and then the play caller decides which chapters to go to. That's the best way to explain it. Don't ever think that an offensive coordinator on a team where the head coach calls the plays doesn't plan the game, because he does.
Yeah.
So it's an important job.
He doesn't just watch like Breaking Bad all week.
Right, and
or go see
sit
movies.
there. Right, correct. But I mean, people wonder, well, if the coach is calling the plays, he's the offensive coordinator. Not necessarily.
No, it's a good breakdown. I mean, certainly, and again, identifying those tells. You know, hey, these are things that we can look out for. These are some things that we can probably trip them up on. These are tendencies that this defense adheres to.
And those are things Liam and Spencer and Trevor will tell. I imagine, I'm guessing, I haven't talked to them, but the way this typically works, those are things they will feed Grant, and Grant will build the plan. Grant will build the plan based on, Liam, do you want this in here? Trevor, do you want this in here? Now, Liam might decide what that first 15-play script is. I'm not saying that's, but I mean, it's a big job, is the point. So we're getting closer and closer to having a
I wonder if, like, the 15-play script, if that's going to start to go away.
I wonder. And I don't know how much it's
because it just seems like it'll be fun to ask him. And Liam may look at me like I have lobsters crawling out of my ears and be like, of course we have a 15-play script.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But I'm curious if, as the offense, as it develops, as it evolves in the NFL with these young minds, if there's any change in how the old school philosophy of you have those 15 plays, and this is what we're going to do. This is what we feel best about. So I'll be curious to see. That's what's going to be so much fun about covering this is there's the opportunity to really learn a lot about, where the league is going, where is offense going, because we're going to talk with somebody 3 times a week, 4 times a week that is right there. And Udinski will be great. We'll get him every, I would assume, Thursday. That's normally when coordinators speak during the season. So I'm excited about it. I like that it's, for me, it's fun to learn about football, and I'm excited to see what this new group of leaders can teach us.
I'm with you. I think the same thing. Let's take a break. Let's get into basketball, though, after the timeout. Our friend Matthew Driscoll, one of the all-time good guys, will join us in a minute. He'll talk about his team starting to surge a little bit. We'll talk some UNF basketball with the coach after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Your home for Florida Gators basketball is 1010XL.
It's another top 10 matchup as the Gators tangle with the top-ranked Tigers. Florida Auburn, Saturday at 4 on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
These days, we do everything from our phones. That's why JEA's app lets you manage your utility services anytime, anywhere. Whether you want to view your account, pay your bill, sign up for programs, or check the outage map, you can do it all right from the app, when and where it's convenient for you. Because we want to make doing business with us as quick and easy as possible. Download the free JEA app from the App Store today. JEA, your community, your utility.
Love is in the air this February, but nothing kills the mood like a plumbing or HVAC problem. Whether it's a leaky pipe, a backed-up septic tank, or your heater isn't keeping things cozy, don't worry. We've got you covered. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Our expert team is here to keep your home running smooth, no matter the issue. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hays Carlyon here. Find my blog at 1010xl.com.
Hays Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 12th through 16th. The Daytona 500 is sold out, but you can still win a 4-pack of tickets to all the other Speed Weeks races. What driver won the 2024 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010. What driver won the 2024 Daytona 500? For a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Speed Weeks races, text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the King of Price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is the diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer